Howdy y'all, it's the Farm Sim Report with news, notes, and stories from around the Farm Sim community for the week of December 5th to the 10th. So get your favorite beverage and sit back and let's get started. Well, it's been a busy week. We've had 105 mods, maps, and updates this past week, and mods every day, so it has kept me quite busy. Now, in this video, we're going to cover a number of subjects, mods, and other things, including the Tajfun 4T, which is a winch mod that's been removed. We're going to talk about it. I still have it actually, which is kind of funny because I usually kind of delete most of the mods that I review. Otherwise, my mod folder would be chock full. We're also going to talk about the Fiat that got removed and restored, so that's good. We're also going to talk about the Scandinavian mod team and some of their things. They've been very communicative. That means they've messaged me, I messaged them back. They've lots of great information there. So we're going to talk about them. We're going to talk about the update to the Forage pickup. And lastly, but not leastly, the Cookie Factory update by Chris S. and Riley S. Had some, I'd say, controversy that perhaps I started. But anyways, we're going to talk about that and perhaps a few other things that may, I don't know, maybe pop up. Who knows? But anyways, let's get started. Well, with 105 mods, maps, and updates this week, I was actually pleasantly surprised that we didn't have actually more action with the broken or removed mods. Now, as far as I know, and there could be more, this one was the only one that's still removed from last week. This is the Tajfun, or the Tajfun 4T. This is by Wolflex Modding. It got removed quite quickly after the mod hub, actually, or off of the mod hub. And it's actually, if we take a look at it here under forestry equipment, it's a version of the base game, or what should I say, base game. It is a version of the Platinum expansion Tajfun here, just a smaller model as it looks. I still have it apparently I still have it, and if you have it and you delete it, you're not going to get it back. I have not seen it back on the mod hub, so interesting note there. But yeah, that's about the only. I mean, we had another removed one, but we're going to talk about that in the next section of this video. But anyways, this is very similar to the Lizard D60 by HR or HD Forst und Frausenbrau. Yes, they had the Lizard D60. Yes, that's what it is. The Lizard D60. By them, that is still available, of course. But of course, to use these, you must have the Platinum expansion DLC to use the winch function, which has been a bit of a somewhat of a confusing aspect to these mods lately. So I have made an effort to include that very clearly on any of my mod reviews, what DLC is required to use them. For example, the Kubota DLC enables players to use the extra passenger or the extra passenger ability in multiplayer, but everybody has to have that Kubota DLC in order to use that function as well. But anyways, moving on to the next subject of our video. So the next subject of our video here is the Fiat Store Pack. And this is also by Wolflex Modding. And this was also something that got removed, but fairly quickly returned to the mod hub. So curious indeed. However, it's back, as we can see here. And these are the small tractors. Yes, there we go. Small tractors. The 402 502 and the 404 504. So the 2-wheel drive and 4-wheel drive versions of this particular mod. So of course, I rarely find out why things are removed or why they're returned to the mod hub. But if you were looking for these and you thought they were no longer there, well, they're back, and they are quite nice. However, the one model upgrade is a, well, let's just take a look at it anyways, because one of the engine, see, there we go, the Store 404. This is the base model, but if you pop it up into the 504, I don't think that's very attractive. Perhaps it is very accurate. I'm sure that this one is much more stylish and attractive. Unfortunately, if you want to bump it up to 50 horsepower, you get this one. So not necessarily a knock on the modder. I don't know what this is. Obviously, it's a Fiat, so I'm going to assume that this is the actual model that he's patterned this after. I would much prefer this one, though. But that's the way it goes. Right, so in the same vein, we're going to move on to some more tractors. So, also this week, Giants, I'm going to say, made available this particular piece of equipment, this little tractor, the Volvo T 425 Krabat. And the reason I say made available, because it is a purchasable mod, 99 cents USD, but for me it was $1.49 Canadian, plus tax, of course. A nice little tractor though, and not all that much, although you would argue that it should have been free, perhaps, being from Giants, but nevertheless, here it is, and I did pay for it, by the way. So that if you did buy it and purchase it, for instance, it will appear as actually part of your game now, not as a download or something like that. It's basically a DLC, which you will also find in DLCs, I believe. Is it here? No, it's under the when you purchase it. But anyways, yes, it's under small tractors. There we go, and here it is. Not a lot of. We have a couple of design choices and color choices. I have a video of this, of course. But along with that, we will carry on over to this, which was also made available at the same time, the BM-Volvo LM 845. It's a wheel loader, and actually a very nice one for, as a matter of fact, for the same price of 99 cents USD if you're in the States. Up here in Canada, I believe it was $1.49 plus tax. That is, once you purchase it and install it, will be found under wheel loaders, and there it is, right there, right off the bat. So again, not a mod, but becomes part of your game. It doesn't take up your memory. It gets installed into your game like other DLCs. But you can choose not to bring it onto a map, if that makes any sense, I do believe. Anyways, yattering on, there are also a couple of options for tires, but that's about it. Now, the reason I want to spend a little bit more time on this is that if you have not got this yet and you're planning on getting the Season 2 pass, do not buy this. The reason I said that, I did buy this, and then later on I got the Season 2 pass because, well, that's what I do. This comes free with the Season 2 pass. So I kind of got ripped off for about $1.49 because it's like, oh, I get a free item. Oh, the free item is the item that I already purchased. Darn it. All right, so just as long as you're aware of that, and if you have not purchased this yet, don't worry if you're going to be purchasing the Season 2 pass, because you get this for free. Right on. So other than that, I of course have a video reviewing this and testing it as well. So moving on to our next subject. So for this portion of the video, we're not going to talk so much about mods as much as we are going to talk about the modder, and that is the Scandinavian Vikings mod rebuilds team. Yes, that's their entire name, but they go by Scandinavian's Vikings modder on YouTube, I think. But anyways, the reason I bring this up is because, well, for one, they have made some quite interesting and useful mods. But not only that, they are quite keen on keeping a finger on the community and the farming simulator community with regards their mods. Now, the first mod that they released, I do believe, was the weight. Now we have the Kloss weight here, and at first, not that there was anything wrong with it. However, when I did the review, I mentioned, well, maybe a 3-point link or a more, I think they had hitches on it, but a 3-point link I think I mentioned as something that would be nice. And lo and behold, the next update included a 3-point link. This here is another one of their mods that I reviewed, and I don't think there's an update to that. However, they were very, again, very responsive to commenting on the review, watching YouTube, and keeping an eye on how the response to their mods were, and reacting and responding to the feedback that they got. And most recently was this, the Transport Pallets Pack. These are all by the Scandinavian Vikings mod rebuilds team. Oh, I don't know why that's such a mouthful for me right now. Now this is just this is the mod that was recently released this past week, and and it's quite an interesting pack. Of course, I did a full video on it. I'm not going to go into how it works or anything, because it did take me a little bit to figure it all out, and 2 tries at it actually before I kind of got it to the point where it was coherent, of course. And of course, they provided some excellent response and to my video and explanations and so forth. And I did, in my test, I had one of these you can get in. Let's turn our help window on here. Yes, this one. This is the refillable one, and you enter it like so. Now, I had it on a forklift and filled it whilst it was on the forklift. And you may recall that if you watched the video of my review, and it went kind of wonky. Now, to be clear, the response by the Scandinavian Vikings mod rebuild team was, perhaps I should have left it on the ground when you enter it and not have it on a forklift when you fill it. So that is a tip for you all who may have been having issues with this. Other than that, everything was, well, that was pretty much my misuse of the item that caused a little bit of issues with it. Other than that, of course, it is a very fine mod. And this one actually, no, yes, this one's movable because it's empty. But anyways, it's all described, and this one you can't move. It's all described in the videos. However, I did want to make a point that there are a few modders out there, like the Scandinavian Vikings mod rebuilds team, that are very keen to how their mods are used and how it was received in the community. So kudos to them on being, very communicative. That's why the word of the day, communicative. with of course myself, but of course I'm putting videos out there, so I am kind of representing the modders in this way to you, the viewer. But anyways, I just thought, and a big thanks, of course, to the Scandinavian Vikings mod rebuilds team for being very communicative with me in messaging me on the videos and so forth. And any of you can go and read those comments on any of the videos. They're all there for all of you to read, so be my guest. Go look at those videos. The conversations are all there for all to see, and they have some of them of quite lengthy explanation on some of these mods. Anyways, enough about that. Thanks again to the team, and moving on to our next subject. So the next item we're going to talk about is the Lizard Forage pickup, and it seems quite nervous that we are focusing our attention on him at this particular moment. This is by FluffyMods, and it has had an update again, another update, changelog 1.0.11, fix for multiplayer and removed bale shredding. So in my, he's calmed down now. Okay, that's nice. And so in my review video of the update, I had not updated it, and I demonstrated how it shredded bales. Unfortunately, I accidentally removed it, and now I guess you could say I am stuck with the updated version. And well, we're actually going to test out the bale thing. But yeah, if you were using it to shred bales and you updated it, unfortunately, well, let's just take a look here. Now, I don't know why the bale shredding feature has been removed. And let's see here. Yes, so we are toast with the bale shredding. All right, so why was that removed? I don't know why. I could only guess that it was removed due to some kind of multiplayer conflict or something to that effect, because it was part and parcel with the fixed for multiplayer removed bale shredding. So it wasn't just like two things, but in one sentence, fix for multiplayer, comma, removed bale shredding. So that leads me to believe that there was some kind of a issue with the bale shredding in multiplayer, so it was removed so as there was no more issue there. Now, I do have it just to see if anything else really changed with it, and it seems to work actually very well. 15 miles per hour, picking up grass or whatever you want to pick up. Of course, it's full now, so it will literally pick up anything that's on the ground, except of course bales now. But it seems to work quite well. So other than the bale thing, which is a bit of a downside, or a downer, I guess you could say, for those of you who like that feature, everything else seems to be working quite fine, at least from what I can tell. so far, and from comments I've had on the video. So there you go. That's pretty much it. I just wanted to mention that again in the in our news episode here. So moving on to the next subject of our video. Our next topic of conversation, and perhaps some debate, is this, the cookie factor, and it has also had an update just recently. And I've had a couple of videos on this concerning the prices on the variable. Let's see here. If we go into our cookie, the variety pack of cookies, and how it all works out compared to the other cookies individually, and my math being of a very suspect talent, had a couple of ideas, and well, and said a few things in one way and the other, and been kind of straightened out by a couple of our viewers. And there's been, as I said, some controversy as to the pricing. And now that's not the only thing I wanted to talk about. What I really wanted to talk about concerning this is the modder Chris S. and Riley S., because they have been extremely kind and generous with their comments in providing extra information and being very responsive to feedback, such as this in particular here. The original cookie factory was just the normal cookie factory and had, let's say, a normal production rate. And if we take a look at it here, if you haven't already looked at it, we're just going to take a quick peek at it, not too much time spent here. So we have the cookie factory, which is what the first mod was, and I did a review of it, and it works fine and everything. It was just a tad slow for my personal liking. And I mentioned so much that it would be nice if there was an option, or somehow sped it up, or an option, and they went with providing an option, and we now have the cookie factory high output, which literally times 10 the output that the original one provided. So, and he's also added the variety pack of cookies and a couple of cookie varieties too that I can't, I don't know which ones he's actually added as cookies, but they've added more recipes and added the variety pack. Also, so yes, very much thank you. The comments and conversation, shall we say, perhaps some debate, is all recorded in the comments to the videos. So if you want to go look at those, again, some very, very detailed and extensive information provided by the modder on the mods. They have been extremely gracious and kind in their response and comments to the videos. So thank you again to Chris in particular, which is the gentleman, I believe. I'm assuming it's a gentleman that has been responding to the videos and so forth. As a side note, also the sell point that comes with this, which is also found under production and sell points. It is the cookie selling station. Now it is interesting to note that some of my viewers have been using this previously to sell some items on certain maps, such as gold, I believe, was one of my viewers. I apologize, I don't remember who was commenting that they were using gold or using this to sell gold, and now after the update it has been revised to be strictly only to the items indicated on the description. So if you were using this for other methods or other uses, unfortunately it has been changed, but if you are looking for a sell anything sell point, the Sell Everything by Schultz Modding was recommended, and I highly recommend that one too. That pretty much always has like literally the Sell Everything sell point by Schultz Modding literally sells everything. Even whatever specialty items on a map, they will it will pick those up and have a price for those, usually pretty good or equal to whatever pricing is. It's never much lower, and sometimes higher. But anyways, that's just the side note. But the purpose of this one here is, again, showing or just letting everybody know that yes, the modders do care, or some modders, most modders I think, care about how their mods are used, and are constantly looking to improve their mods. Of course, these gentlemen here have had a couple of mods out already. This is the second one. The Lizard Colossus Harvesters pack is one of their other mods that has been had actually a couple of updates and vast improvements to, and of course they have also been very very responsive to suggestions and feedback that they've gotten from that mod as well. So kudos to them. That's Chris S. and Riley S. So now on to conclude our little video. Well, that about wraps things up for this week. I want to thank all my viewers, and of course all the modders that have responded to the videos, left some comments and information, and tuned me in on how some of these things work. Of course, wouldn't be possible without all you guys' support and viewership. Also, the comments are wonderful. I love all the feedback, and it's great for the community to see the modders get some feedback on their mods too, and how are things work, how are things used, and yeah, so much appreciate all the support and love I receive. Was a crazy week with mods, and who knows what's going to happen next week, but we'll be here to keep our fingers on, say, the controller, as it were. So I'm LooneyFarmGuy, and remember, it's only a game. So till next time, bye for now.